Are you tired of the constant hustle and feeling like you're always chasing after the next big thing? Rejecting a high-speed, consumer-driven lifestyle doesn't have to mean you're missing out on life. Instead, imagine being able to save money effortlessly, just by shifting to a way of living where less is more, and peace and tranquility are the new rich. In this video, we reveal 10 aspects of how embracing simple living and minimalism can transform your financial well-being. And you'll find that a so-called boring life isn't just about saving money, it's about refocusing on and rediscovering what truly matters. Number 1. Entertainment. You probably know the typical scenario. It's Friday night and your friends are heading out to the latest blockbuster movie, followed by a fancy dinner downtown. The allure is undeniable. The excitement of a night out, the buzz of socializing. But here's the problem. Each of these nights out can take a hefty toll on your wallet. The average person spends over thousands a year on entertainment, which is a significant chunk of change. But let's pivot to the boring life perspective. Instead of splurging on a movie, you're curled up with a good book or a classic film on a streaming service you already pay for. And dinner is a homemade meal that's both healthier and more budget-friendly. Plus, there's the compound effect of these choices. Over a year, choosing low-cost or free entertainment can save you those thousands we just mentioned, not to mention avoiding overspending and getting into debt. This is a strategic, fulfilling alternative that enriches your life while keeping your finances healthy. Number 2. Fashion. Trends can change faster than the seasons, and keeping up can feel like an endless and expensive race. The desire to be fashionable and the pressure to conform to the latest trends can be overwhelming. According to a survey by Credit Donkey, the average American spends almost $2,000 a year on clothes. But when you step off this fashion treadmill, our boring life comes into play. Opting for a more timeless, minimalist wardrobe means fewer shopping sprees and less money spent on clothes that quickly go out of style. Not only do you save money, but you also cultivate a personal style that's uniquely yours, unaffected by the whims of fashion. This choice has a ripple effect on your finances, aligning perfectly with the minimalist living spaces we'll explore later in the video and the overall reduction in consumerism that's a hallmark of a boring lifestyle. Number 3. Transportation. The stress and frustration of being stuck in rush hour traffic. It's a scenario millions face daily worldwide, and the annual cost of running and maintaining a car runs into the thousands, as many of us are painfully aware. But embracing a boring life could slash this expense drastically. By leading a routine life, you cut down on commuting. Maybe you work from home more or live closer to your workplace. This means less fuel, fewer maintenance costs, and perhaps you might even ditch the car altogether. Public transport, cycling, or the occasional ride-hailing become viable options. This doesn't just have to be a pipe dream. More and more people globally have decided to go down the carless route, so it could be a real possibility for you too. Number 4. Impulse buys. Have you ever walked into a store for one item and walked out with 5? A survey by Slick Deals found that shoppers spend an average of over $300 a month on impulse buys. Since many of these purchases are unplanned and therefore unnecessary, that's just money down the drain. But instead, picture your boring life where you're not constantly bombarded by the latest trends or gadgets. In this life, you make deliberate, thoughtful purchases. You're not swayed by every sale sign or marketing gimmick. You're in full control of your purchases and no longer a puppet to consumerism. And as we'll see later in the video, this approach can extend to larger life choices, leading to even more savings. Number 5. Housing. Picture this. You're standing in the middle of a spacious, modern house filled with all the latest furnishings. It looks straight out of a magazine. But here's the twist. The rent is sky high, and so are the utility bills. Now imagine a cozier, simpler living space that offers everything you need without the hefty price tag. That's the magic of minimalist living, a key aspect of a boring life. As we know, housing costs can make up a significant portion of a household's monthly budget, and it's often the most expensive item. By choosing a smaller, more practical living space, you're not just reducing this cost, you're also cutting down on energy costs, maintenance, and even furniture expenses. And as time goes by, you'll realize the true hero of your financial story isn't the flashy apartment. but the modest, unassuming one that allows you to save more and stress less about finances. Number 6. Gadgets. New gadget releases are designed to send people rushing to the store, their hard-earned money flying out of their wallets. It's a never-ending cycle, fueled by the latest tech trends. If this sounds like you, it's time to step out of this whirlwind. Choosing a boring life often means breaking free from the constant need to upgrade to the latest technology. This decision is more impactful than you might think. A report by Statista estimated that the average American household spends almost $1,200 annually on consumer electronics. So by sticking to essential gadgets and carefully chosen subscriptions, you're not only saving money, but also avoiding the clutter of unused tech. This approach aligns perfectly with our concept of minimalist living spaces and paves the way to financial freedom. So while the latest smartphone is nice, what's even better is having a fatter wallet by rising above fleeting tech trends. Number 7. Insurance. Now let's talk about insurance, which is something we often overlook. Whether it's for our home, car, or personal belongings, insurance is a safety net we can't ignore. But there's an inverse relationship here. The more you own, the more you have to pay to protect it. For example, homeowners' insurance premiums can vary widely, often influenced by the value of the home and its contents. So how does a boring lifestyle come into play here? Remember, a boring life often means a simpler, less cluttered life. Fewer high-value items and a smaller living space can dramatically reduce the cost of your insurance premiums. Fewer gadgets and luxurious items mean a lower risk of theft or damage claims. A smaller, simpler home could mean lower replacement costs in case of damage. The main point here is this: by simplifying your life, you're not just reducing physical possessions, you're also minimizing financial risks and expenses. Number 8. Debt. Picture yourself at a crossroads. One path is well-trodden, lined with the latest gadgets, fancy cars, and a lifestyle that screams luxury, all funded by the magic of debt. Tempting, no doubt. But the catch is simple and insidious. This path is also riddled with monthly statements and mounting interest, constant reminders of debt. But let's instead turn our gaze to the road less traveled. It's simpler, maybe even considered boring by some. But it's exciting in all the ways that count, because it's a life free from the shackles of debt. By avoiding unnecessary expenses and living within your means, you're saving money and earning peace of mind. This path leads to a lifestyle where every dollar you earn is yours to keep, invest, or save for a rainy day. Choosing a life free of debt isn't just about saying no to immediate gratification, it's about saying yes to long-term financial health and freedom. Number 9. Retirement. Chances are, the prospect of retirement worries rather than excites. Why is this? Because, like many people worldwide, there just isn't enough money in your retirement account. But here's where choosing a boring life can be a game changer. As we've just seen, this lifestyle is all about cutting unnecessary expenses and living within your means. By consistently saving and minimizing spending, you're not just putting money in the bank today, you're building a foundation for long-term financial security. So flip the script and plan on reaching retirement with a substantial nest egg, giving you the freedom to enjoy your years of hard work. That's the power of a boring life. Number 10. Stress. Financial stress is like a shadow for many, looming over every decision. A survey by Bankrate found that over half of Americans have had their mental health affected by money worries. And here's where choosing a boring life comes in as a game changer. By living simply, you're not just cutting costs, you're cutting down on financial stress. Imagine a life where logging onto your banking app to check your bank balance doesn't feel like bracing for a storm. Your financial situation can absolutely influence your peace of mind. But when you're not constantly chasing the next big thing, your mind isn't bogged down by the weight of financial uncertainty. And mental clarity is clearly good for your overall well-being. So by embracing the boring, you're saving yourself from a lifetime of financial anxiety. A boring, simple life and a minimalist life have a lot in common. But there are a wide range of aspects to minimalism, and it can be difficult to figure out where to begin. So check out this video next for a month-by-month calendar of minimalist habits you can start today to improve your finances.